Hey, I'm Justin.
This is Chaz.
Join us as we look back together, but learn to stay present.
Come with us as we rise up with hope on the horizon.
This is the podcast of extraordinary millennial gentlemen. And we are back for another episode. Charlie is back with us. The Deuce, part 2. Charlie's not called The Deuce.
He's not number 2.
No.
He's number 1 in our book.
That's right. I don't know what he is at his house, but we won't probably talk about that today. He's dad.
I don't know if we have numbers. I'm dad.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That is the ultimate.
Yeah.
Until someone tells you that's false, which is...
Don't believe it.
I'm not going to believe him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's smart. Well, we're gathered today because we have more of a conversation to have, more of a dialogue to have from the first episode that Charlie was on. And we've done no preparation for this.
Okay, good, because I'm on the same page.
Okay.
Just the topic.
I tried to work on my lighting a little bit, but it's not.
It is nice.
You've
fancy. Got like a nice hue.
I changed sides of the room this time.
Okay.
I'm not seeing the cakes.
I think I see one. There it is.
Oh, there they are. Oh, I see that
Over your
different side of the
shoulder.
room. Okay, I was looking to the right for them. I'm like, yeah, they're not over there. They're on the left.
Yeah. Anyways, it's all good. I'm excited.
Yeah.
The bakery,
welcome.
If we talked about that last time,
Yeah.
it started today. Yesterday was the first day.
Oh,
wow.
that's cool.
Great.
Yeah.
And it's an in-person place, or she's doing it out of the casa?
No, in person, storefront, and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's actually really classy. Like, I think of a bakery and kind of flowery, dirty dust everywhere.
Yeah.
No.
This is like Magnolia Farms classy.
Oh, geez.
That's awesome.
Like a Joanna bakery.
Yeah. Did she rent a silo as well?
No, I,
mean,
don't
they
think there's
own
one
theirs.
available in this town. They might all be rented out.
That's true. Somebody already thought about the silo bakery. Yeah.
There's
good
a
call.
skating rink like across the street, though.
Ooh, ice skating? Roller skating?
Eat your cupcake and then work it off.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. Okay, when you guys were kids, though, for real,
Mhm.
I grew up in the South. The skating rink was like the place to go. Like, if you had a birthday at the skating rink,
Mm-hmm.
that was somehow like childhood classy. Like that's a good move.
Roller skating rink.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember all the parties being there, like after, like even there was like school activities where it was like, we're going roller skating, like on the bus,
Jeez.
go there for, a couple hours and get on the bus, go home.
Now, did your skating rink have how they have the Wienermobile for whatever hot dogs that is?
Yeah.
Our
Oscar
skating
Mayer.
rink had Oscar Mayer. Thank you, Chaz.
Yeah.
Ours had a car that was a
skate.
I'm thinking ice skating. Sorry, I'm thinking ice skating because that's the rink that's across the street. But yeah, a skate as the car.
Oh, wow.
Man,
I
Yeah.
never saw it
No.
move, but it had a seat in it.
that business owner was rolling enough to have, no pun intended,
Yeah.
to have a skate car.
It doesn't exist anymore, so I don't know if he rolled away from that plan or I don't know. It doesn't exist anymore.
The 70s caught up, or the 80s caught up, or whenever that was like the greatest
Rollerblades
business
came to
idea
the
for
scene
kids'
and it just
entertainment.
wasn't cool anymore.
Oh,
yeah.
that's true. That's true. Well, you know what that was? That was yuppies. That was yuppies that took that for sure. Took it from the
Inline
common
skating.
folk.
Yeah.
In line. Mm.
Yep.
Well, skating is not the topic tonight, but that is refreshing to talk about. I think everybody out there's like, yeah, where has that podcast episode been?
Yeah. Yeah. And what are those ones where they like used to battle on teams in the arena of
yeah,
the roller
derby.
skating? The derbies.
Roller
Yes.
derby.
The
Oh,
derby,
man.
roller
They
derby.
still have that stuff. I have a friend that does that.
Yeah.
Pacific
I have an old
Northwest,
coworker
never
too.
stopped. Never stopped up here.
Still there.
Right.
But flannel never stopped. Charlie knows. What else? I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of things never stopped up here. But
Yeah.
it's cool. We like it.
That's true.
So Charlie, we want to talk about the book, not just the book, but that time in your life. When I feel like when we met last and we talked about that book that brought you out of yourself a little bit, when your mom passed and you're going through that mourning, and not that it took you out of mourning, but it changed your total
Gave
perspective.
me a little different perspective.
So,
for sure.
Not that you have to recap the entire book, but if you want to just give a brief overview of what you're reading and kind of what it did for you at that time.
All right, brief overview of the book. Holocaust, sisters, hiding Jews. They get caught, put in a concentration camp.
For hiding Jews.
For hiding Jews.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's their story. One of the underlying that's a synopsis. One of the underlying threads in the story is one sister, I think, is like me, kind of complains the whole time. This isn't fair, not that it's not fair that they're in prison, but it's like they're not being taken care of. There's lice everywhere and fleas, and it's just not comfortable. It's not fair.
Yeah.
And the other sister, she hid a Bible in her. If I remember right, she put it on like a lanyard or something and snuck it in between her shoulder blades.
Wow.
And they would read the Old Testament to the other women in the prison and stuff. And she was always more humble about things and always telling her sister to, be grateful for things. And the one part in the book that's my favorite, probably also one of the things that's probably quoted the most, she tells her sister to be grateful for the fleas and stuff. And she just throws a fit. I don't need to be grateful for the fleas or anything. There's, why?
Didn't expect that response.
Yeah. And then it come to find out there was a bickering that one of the sisters could go out and work, and one of the sisters was too sick to leave the barracks to work. So they made them like sew socks or something.
Yeah.
And there was an argument about size or something. And so they asked one of the guards to come in and clarify whatever their question was. And the guard wouldn't go in there. And the guard said, I'm not going in there because of the fleas. And then they realized they weren't raped, they weren't beaten, because their barracks had fleas.
Oh, wow.
And so that's what her sister, when she came back, she goes, that's why we're grateful for the fleas. And so for me, life sucks sometimes. It just does. And so that was like, just be grateful. It might just be, you don't understand why, but be grateful for the fleas. Be grateful for the moment you're in. It could be for your benefit. About a week ago, it was Fast Sunday a week ago, my mother-in-law got up and bore a testimony, and she had been reading or listening to some motivational book or tape or something, person. And she bore a testimony about a very similar principle. And it was, what if you looked at life as if everything had been set in your path for your benefit? So even if it was bad, it was just for your benefit. How would you look at life from there? And so I still am pondering that thought, but it's true. You wish for rain, and somebody else is next door wishing for dry skies, or the opposite or something. And so I'm put in a certain situation, and how can I use that situation to benefit me, or at least benefit somebody? I still learn that process. I don't know from when my mom passed away, what the benefit would have been. What I thought back then is different than what I feel right now.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd hit the road and like be a spokesperson for, I don't know. I'm not a widower, but I lost my parents, and be a motivational speaker. That's a bunch of crap.
It's an interesting ambition.
Never panned out.
Yeah.
But that's the old you, right? I mean, that's the younger you. That's such an interesting perspective that your mother-in-law had, and in the context of, your synopsis of the book and the takeaways there, because I think let me stop. I get in my own head so much with my own expectations of how things should happen. I would say I'm a decent planner. I put a lot of expectations on plans that I make, but I'm not a great performer, right? Like my ability to execute is typically like, and I wouldn't say it's all procrastination, as a lot of times fear, and feeling the intimidation of failure. And then it kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy in some ways that my expectations aren't met because of my own, failures, which a lot of times, more often than not, root in more fear in holding myself back. And I don't mean like work. I don't mean like, in family life. I just mean in general, right? Trying to understand myself and how I process challenges and how I process good times and what's the difference. And like you said, Charlie, a lot of times I take the really foolish thought and just go, well, the sun was shining that day. Like it was something completely out of my control. It was just good. And now it's just bad. And I have to put blame on something, and blame then what, like feeds my fear or helps bury my fear, or I'm not sure. And we're not on the psychiatrist couch. Anyway, I know I've got problems, but I think most people have problems, right? Maybe not my problems, but people have problems.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I definitely try to, I don't know. I try not to judge a book by its cover. Everybody's got a story. And so there's a reason for why they act out the way they do.
Yeah.
There's a reason for why not acting out, for keeping quiet and stuff. It just isn't our reaction. So sometimes we disagree with it. But I try not to judge a book by its cover, although I'd say I'm pretty dang good at it.
There you go.
Not that I'm good at doing it. I'm not necessarily good at being correct about judging a book by cover. But I do. I know that's one of my downsides is I'll see somebody walking down the street and I'll just make an assumption about them. Knowing that that's me, then I go, okay, now I got to figure that person out. I got to go introduce myself. I got to go get to know them. I got to go see what it is and change what I thought they were by getting to know who they were. And so I like that because I invest time in people. I get to know them. I do always try to slide in that I'm not perfect somehow. I acknowledge that I'm not perfect myself, because I think it gives them a chance to like change their perspective of me as well.
Take down some barriers or some prejudgment.
Yeah. On my mission, I thought I would make a lot of friends, your companions and stuff, you'd be friends with them. And I had great companions. I had some that were really annoying. They were still good people. But I never was friends with them until my mom passed away. And one day I just snapped and I said a cuss word. And this other missionary who from our whole mission, we kind of like, not revolved around each other, but we were around each other, but never close. And my assumption of him was his assumption of me. Like, oh, that guy he doesn't ever have any fun and stuff. And we all of a sudden were in the same zone, and I cussed and he instantly went, we're going to be good friends. Like whatever that was. And we're friends today. He lives 5 miles from me right now.
Broke down the walls.
Yeah. And it wasn't, sadly it was a cuss word, right? That was fine. I for me personally, I don't care about that. But for 2 years, we could have been good friends and stuff. And we weren't until something changed. Somebody's perspective changed.
Hey, thanks for spending some time with us today. Hope you find hope and joy throughout this upcoming week. If you've liked this podcast, please hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you next week.
I ate my grandma.